Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's truly an honor to have you here with us. Your contribution to space exploration and planetary mission have shaped the way that we understand our solar system and beyond.
As I said, I'm Dr. Lewis Friedman. I'm the co founder, along with Carl Sagan and Bruce Murray, of the Planetary Society. I was its executive director for 30 years. Before that, I was um, at Jet Propulsion Laboratory working on advanced missions for solar system exploration. Sorry, I went into college at the very first year of the space age. In 1957, Sputnik was launched, and the world's interest in space exploration was triggered. I was studying mathematics and engineering, and that immediately intrigued me. It was the hot subject of the day, and so I'd say it was Sputnik in a major way contributed to it. Although, of course, before that, I had already had the interest in math and science fiction and astronomy and all the ideas of exploring other worlds. What was my most exciting mission? That's a little like choosing your favorite child. If you have several children or something like that, there's no one thing that can be most exciting. There are so many discoveries that were made. I remember the very first time I saw the landing picture on Mars from Viking. It took my breath away because that was a whole new world.
Do you think human will ever reach another star system?
Uh, I wrote a book which is called uh, From Mars to the Stars. It talks about human exploration, and it lays out the difficulty, the concept of interstellar flight. If we imagine getting to interstellar flight in a practical amount of time, say a human lifetime, 100 years, even that, you would have to fly at uh, large fractions of the speed of light. And you would go out, you would get there so fast you couldn't stop. So you would fly through that solar system. It wouldn't be too useful. And even that is not possible with any propulsion that we have now, not with laser sailing, not with nuclear propulsion. There has to be something invented. So I think that interstellar flight may be a bridge too far, as I said in my book. The
Yeah. As a co-founder of the Planetary Society, what was the vision behind creating this organization and how has it evolved over the years?
um, I think we made a difference. The biggest one was we created that constituency that I talked about, that people interested in planetary science, not just to be, oh, that's nice, but to say, no, this is important. This is a great enterprise of humankind, exploring new worlds. There's much to discover. And so I think that's probably the greatest achievement. Well, we were created at a time when the US government was considering stopping planetary exploration. It's not just building rockets, they have to go someplace, they have to do something. And so the notion we had the Viking mission to Mars, which was a great success, landed and operated there for several years. The Voyager missions were going out to Jupiter and eventually to Saturn and Uranus and Neptune, making discoveries of whole new worlds around these giant planets. Uh, we had missions planned to Venus. We wanted to go to Halley's Comet and explore this once in a lifetime visit from a celestial visitor. But the administration didn't want to do planetary science. So we formed an organization which was a public interest group to harness public interest, say that planetary exploration was worth doing, and to create a constituency for it. And I think we were very successful. We turned that decision around, and within the decade, there were planetary missions being planned. And the next decade, Mars exploration was renewed, and it began to be a golden age of planetary exploration in the years that followed. I might say I think we're facing the same situation now. We have an administration that wants to cut out space science, and I think the Planetary Society is going to be very much needed to create a constituency to show this is not a good idea.
What are your thoughts on this possibility of life beyond Earth?
Uh, I was very supportive of search for extraterrestrial life, and it takes several dimensions. One is looking for life on places like Mars or on the moon of the outer planet Europa, as a mission is going there now to do in an under the surface ocean that is there. Um, it would probably be primitive life, but it would tell us about the origin and evolution of life if we could find it. And then there's a notion of, is there extraterrestrial intelligence? Are there beings out there that have a technology that we can communicate with? So I'm guessing, and it's only a guess because we don't have knowledge yet, that life is quite prevalent. There's many, many, maybe hundreds of millions of worlds with some form of life getting started. But I think it's very rare, and maybe even doesn't happen again, that life will evolve into a technology civilization. After all, we've had 100 million species on Earth, more than that, hundreds of millions of species on Earth, and only one has made it to evolve a technology. So I'm not sure that there's a good chance of finding anybody to talk to. And that's why I wrote the book, Alone but Not Lonely, Exploring for Extraterrestrial Life.
In all years working in a space industry, what is the most mind-blowing fact about the universe that still amazes you?
Uh, and you probably heard people talk about, oh, the habitable zone, the Earth is here, Venus is too hot, Mars is too cold, we're just right. But now we know that's an old idea. It's completely changed. There are habitable worlds out there at Jupiter's distance, out there at Saturn's distance. There are habitable worlds around other stars. We don't know yet. And so I guess the whole notion of the difference in these other worlds is the mind-blowing thing.
Hmm.
I think it's a misconception that people think uh, that is, oh, it's very likely we probably discovered it already. A large part of the population, unfortunately, is willing to assume that it's already here. We just are covering it up. That's nonsense, of course, but there are people who think that extraterrestrial life has already come here, even so there's no evidence of it. Another misconception is about Mars. People think uh, Mars life has been discovered. I found that.
If you could design a mission to explore any celestial object, what would it be and what would you hope to discover?
Well, I'm that's my job. That was my job at JPL. That's the thing I've always cared about the most is designing missions. In the book about human exploration from Mars to the stars, my motivation was to say we humans want to become a multi-planet species, and Mars is the only place we can do it. So let's do it. Let's start on that venture. Well, an interesting question. Never been asked that question before.